We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa with untold stories, Africa's best.
Our vision in this interim government is to make ABC a leader and a real warhorse of our struggle. We want to grow it, expand it, hire and train more hands, and broadcast round the clock, around the world, and take command of the media space of this world.
You can enjoy all round the clock 24/7 exclusive moments of bliss as an ABC Amber TV Club member. A cappella. Latest Nigerian stroke African movies, global politics, ABC Amber News and updates, historical documentaries, and lots more. In our daily programs, we have Undaunted, ABC Amber News, bringing into the news untold stories with Onyi Okpala and Star Smart. Exclusive discussion, revolutionary panel conversation, infotainment, edutainment, intro governmental debates on topical issues with Tar Paddy King, State of the Liberation Movement, Fronting IG and People of Ambazonia's position, the Struggles Weekly Update with Secretary Martin Mungwa, PhD, FASC, Health is Wealth, Health Education and Awareness within the Ambazonian community with Dr. Yaya, Liberation Prayer, an intercessory ministry for Ambazonia with Pastor Victor Mba, Our Freedom, spiritual awareness and education for the Ambazonian community with Pastor Victor Mba and Pastor Commando, Church and Politics, neutralizing the myths and preconceived religious and political philosophies that limit the Christian involvement in the realms of decent politics with Pastor Commando, The Horizon, the voice of the Ambazonian woman with Dr. Patience Abiedo and Lady Casey, Our Amber History, bringing to limelight the hidden history of Ambazonia to the world with Pastor Commando, Appointment on Community Building, Education on Patriotism within the Ambazonian communities with Ma Rachael, Tima, Ethics for an Emerging Nation, Watchdog of Basic Principles and Morals of a Nation at War with Ma Dorothy Ngwa. Upcoming programs: Pigeon News, Vernacular Talk Show, County Roots, Activists Corner, Amber Focus, only on ABC Amber Television. We the people, the voice of the voiceless. For 24/7 access, subscribe as a club member on www.abcambertv.com/subscribe.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Ambazonians. You're welcome again to another Tuesday edition on community building, appointment on community building, where we discuss and share ideas with all of the Amazonian community, whether you are in the USA, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Asia, whether you are in Africa, in Australia, wherever you may, in the Arctics, those in Alaska, wherever you may find yourself, you will know that this is the hour for you and I to do, to hear, and to share. I greet every one of us according to our time all over the globe and wishing you a fruitful and enlightened, sensitized, and take home sharing of today's message, what we have on our agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, all of our sympathizers, I greet you all. And I implore you, please, to kindly share the link that you have received, either the one through Facebook, the one through YouTube. Please just do a patriotic move. do a patriotic move and share. Invite friends, those on home front, those on ground one, wherever you are. You can share your screen, you can share your data with fellow Amazonians who will be willing to, who should take out time and do and be a partaker of this community building. And I just want to announce something here that there is a sister who is willing to, I think from next week, we are going to start a project or a program whereby 10 questions will be given. Then by the end of the program, the persons that will get the answers correctly are going to receive something through Momo that will enable them to have credit each time, or credit, yeah, am I speaking German? It will enable them to have to load data. Let me put it this way: they will have data on their phones. So, fellow Amazonians, this will start next week. There are two or three sisters who are ready to kick off with this, and the price will be named. How much you are going to receive will depend on how you will participate on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you again to share, to share, to share, and invite people, and you yourself, you sit down tight. We know Tuesday is a busy day after we had our country Sunday yesterday. Fellow brothers and sisters on home front are running around to do a catch up, financial catch up, and visitations, and to make ends meet. Yes, we know that you will not be probably having out full time to sit down because this is the hour you'll be rushing home. Notwithstanding, ABC is our 24-hour service. As the president said, that we want to take control of our communication and we want to occupy the media space. So therefore, if you miss the live sessions of any of our programs, exclusive programs with Director Paddy King, or the Undaunted News with our beautiful ladies, the Ethics Commission, Church and Politics, and all the other ones with Pastor Victor and Pastor Commando, do not worry. Do not worry. It will be rebroadcasted and you will watch it live wherever you will be. And on Facebook, of course, we have them running there. You can always go there and watch and like, such that Facebook will not block us, will not limit our space online. You know, sometimes people just we just flip and do not give any feedback. You know, all of this social media space and handles and everything. You know, the more likes and comments you make on what people do on the program, so you will equally have your fair share in this social media. So please, let's help promote. You can only promote yourself. This is community building. We are building ourselves. We cannot do our own and we do not consume. We have to brand our own products. We have to brand what we initiate. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, it is just as I always say, it's your moral jurisdiction, it's your patriotic right. You know, you may not have a $10 to give, you may not have a $100 or $1,000 to give, but your sharing to invite somebody to join the program is worth the while. Your commenting on Facebook, on YouTube is worth the while. So you make the social media know that these social media handles, they know that these people are serious, these people are out for what they do, and they represent what they say. Mommy and papa, then wait at the talk for you and say, my brothers and my sister, them and say, when we know when you cook your own chop, you shouldn't you chop and fine. You yourself you go enjoy the chop where you the chop and when you cook them, you get to enjoy them because if you yourself you not enjoy your own chop, then how you expect say some person go can't enjoy that your chop pass you. So now so the two are the talk now say we get to try for say when we get our program then online, may we try for like am, may we like am by ourselves, may we share am so that Facebook people they go know say the Amazonian people dey serious because sometimes we dey talk say we dey too talk to ourselves. Some of us we get like 5,000 friends for Facebook, different country dem. And each time you see any Amazonian program on ABC, share am make e go for that your group, share am make e go for that your many friends dem so that the thing go reach, it go far and wide. It go far and wide. It go far away place where person no expect. Then some person go know say, so that means say this kind of thing dey go on for these people. Then people go start do research. They will start go on our website. They will start to log in. They will see our genocide library. They go see the comments and they go see the different speeches the way our president don make am. Then they go see the different departments then, because una remember last town hall wey different departments they can do departmental presentation, mission statements, and all those kind of things. You know, President Sako and most of the will be employees say it is a good thing for every department for make a mission statement, put am, make dem give am for, make dem upload am for our how they go for our website, so that any person wey e go visit our website, e go see say these people are already how far they've gone, how organized they are, how constructive we are. You know, because if we just that statement say we dey over talk to ourselves, how you wan send something for person for America? Na why that way social media space, internet space, e don can make am very possible wey you can communicate anytime as fast as possible. If we dey build our community, we dey build our ideology. As we dey share am, we dey share our ideology to people far and wide. Na only me and you fit do am, no other person fit do am, because every person dey for im own corner with im own issue. Everybody try for sell im own market. Who go leave im own market can sell your own? So fellow brothers and sisters and fellow Amazonians, it is our patriotic right, our patriotic responsibility to be able to go online and share when the program comes up like this, share, comment. Yes, because what I'm saying is not only for me alone, it's not only for my family, it is for Amazonia, it's for our communities, for our nation. Yes, actually, there are things that I really want to say today that they are not new, but we always emphasize on reiterating what we have, because if we don't, people usually forget where they come from, people usually forget where they are going to. It is only when you remind them, even when you have booked your flight, you get at the airport, they still remind you that this is your gate. They remind you that your plane is leaving. They remind you, even if you know where you are going, they will still tell you that that is the motor park, that's where the car is loading, that is where the buses are loading. You still know, but they still keep telling you every day. Not be because say you no know, but na just say if they not remind you, you fit go enter wrong bus, because all the bus dem they seem to look the same. So Amazonian people dem, na our responsibility. It is our responsibility, joint responsibility, to identify where you are going and whom you are, so that you will not go and enter the wrong, you will not board the wrong train, you will not board the wrong plane, neither will you enter a wrong bank to do your financial transactions, because all these things we think that it is just like that. It is not like that. We have to be reminded, we need to be told, we need to readdress them over and over. And therefore today, I really take to, we saw this major topic where we want to say, understanding the hidden extermination policies on Southern Cameroon's Amazonia. First of all, somebody will say, understanding the hidden extermination policies. When we hear that our Amazonian forefathers left the house of Enugu and came back to Boya in 1959, it was not by error. It was a divine appointment. And when they came back to Boya, that was where it is recorded that Amazonia, Southern Cameroons created the first democratic government, when other nations did not yet know how to vote the prime minister, to vote their leadership and put in power. Southern Cameroons already knew, and they did a fantastic job. Yes, until then, when the idea of by joining came in existence. Since the day of that by joining, which did not even reflect what other countries were gaining those days in when it was set in the United Nations Charter that every country, irrespective of number, of size, of whatsoever, all those trust territories should be prepared for independence. But the case of Southern Cameroon, there was a game, a slippery game that was played behind that. All of us have come to the understanding that it was the trusteeship sponsorer, the United Kingdom, and the of Southern that was responsible for Southern Cameroons, and the French that were responsible for the for French Cameroon that played the game, and this by joining came in existence. This was a unique situation that never happened and had never happened and has never repeated itself again. So Southern Cameroon has a unique history. It has a unique background whereby you can see that that extermination policy started from that point, and every other architect that partook in that illegal activity is up to today working very hard to see that Southern Cameroonians do not come out from where they had. Maybe it was for where they went and landed us. Yes. Since then, this maneuver continued until 1st September. You know, we all know of the Mago Mago Fumban conference where nothing was done, nothing was written, nothing was signed, whereby it was said that the French Cameroon and the UK that was responsible for Southern Cameroon should come and sit together so that they will produce a document that will be signed together and sent to the United Nations General Assembly to be put in a file to say that yes, these two people have agreed. But as we still remember, as our legal minds told us here 3 programs away, that even French Cameroon did not vote for Southern Cameroon to have its independence. How then do we expect them to even come and officially sit to have a document accepting us? So this is, you see, this is the extermination policy that they had started even before, even long before this treachery. Some people will say it is even treasonous to have done this thing. If it were that justice was really in place to take its course, then we would have realized that some people, as I will see here in the 80s, during the Bosnia Herzegovina war, how people were taken to the International Court of Justice. If it were there, some of these nations should have answered, because it was humanity, it was human rights that was trampled upon. And up to today, they are still refusing to take responsibility for what they did. And notwithstanding, Amazonians who have grown to be, when a lizard is this small, it will metamorphose and get to a crocodile, and before you know it gets to a dragon. This is why our African writers, Haikwe Ama, he said, the beautiful ones are not yet born. The beautiful ones are not yet born. Because when they make this statement, somebody thinks, oh, maybe it's a beautiful child that will be born. It's a beautiful. No, it is an embedded, it is a metaphor in itself. The beautiful ones are not yet born. Even we all remember when our forefathers said that our children are going to stand up and they will fight this injustice. That was just another side of saying that the beautiful ones are not yet born. And it is still ongoing. It is a timeless statement because people are getting up everywhere in the world, standing up for justice against every injustice that is meted upon their people, to which Southern Cameroon is not an exception. The children of Southern Cameroon, fast forward to the modern day, has come to realize that we have been cheated upon, we've been trampled upon, our existence has been on a permanent a menu of extermination. It has been on a permanent menu. These people have used us for breakfast, used us for lunch, used us for dinner, and even between their snacks, they've had their time. But then the never again generation, what are we saying? We are building our community, we are building our men and women, irrespective of because whatever is going, it is part of the manipulation. Yes, I will just start off to say today I really want to let our people, remind our people that we are coming from a long way. And the people who call themselves military people, forces of law and order, if you look at it critically, they have become the forces of disorderliness and lawlessness. They refuse to stand for the truth. They refuse to identify the truth. Yes, first of all, the role of a military. Because some people will say, when people sit behind the bars, the government, the executive, they sit behind the bars, they sit behind, they enact laws, and they send the military to go in front. And everything that comes out, it is just what the military had. That is the command that they take from leadership and wherever, who and wherever they are taking. For example, when we talk of the role of the military, it is usually said that the main task of a military is usually is defined as to defend the states and the interest of the state against external armed threats. Against external armed threats, you will ask yourself, it's only a nation that can have its military. La République has its military. And I will just fast forward to this time of the early days from the 2015, 16, and all those. In the course of the analysis, we will be going deeper into anything, revealing how this hidden extermination policy has been taking place. The military, for example, La République military, what have they done? What have they been doing to the people of Southern Cameroon up to this time? What have they been doing? Because La République, they continually living in their falsehood. You remember when we talk about the fake Fumban conference, by joining from the beginning, and on the 30th of September 1961, whereby the UK was bringing down a Union Jack flag, and supposedly or rightfully by every justice, the Amazonian Southern Cameroonian flag should have been hoisted, but instead La République already invaded. Its military and its soldiers, its gendarmes were already armed and planted on the Amazonian soil. That was the glaring significance, glaring appearance of annexation, taking over an occupation. And because of this, their falsehood that they have continued with assimilation, annexation, and occupation, they think it is their moral jurisdiction to exterminate whosoever or whatsoever they consider a threat. It is not as if they had the right to be on the Amazonian soil. They were never there. They came, they occupied it. That is why you see up to today, whatsoever they had considered as a threat to their existence, they have done everything to kill. That is why indiscriminate killing, arrest, imprisonment, and all sorts of extermination categories have been taking place in Amazonia. On the other hand, Amazonians have never relented. We moved from the we are continuing with the Pa Ngomjua's government. That is where we are continuing with. We are continuing with Pa George government up to today, where we have our interim government. We continue with it. That is why even the times before, um, even though there have never been an outright opposition, arms exchange, firearms exchange between the occupying force and the people of Amazonia. It gets to a time that the people say enough is enough. This is why you see, even up to today, even though they succeeded in annulling, exterminating the mobile forces, the mobile force, the mobile police that Southern Cameroons had in those days. They canceled that mobile police force. They brought in their red berets, which are the gendarmes. They filled everywhere. Until today, if you are not even very careful, the police, even the police school that we had in Mutengene, go and check what is ongoing there. You will see that they succeeded in exterminating everything that the Amazonian people had in place for themselves. And then the Never Again generation came out after the 22nd September, where our people were shot with live bullets. People were killed 22nd of September 2016, 1st of October 2016. People said enough is enough. Enough is enough. That is where you see the interim government. We tried thinking that dialogue, conversation, word of mouth, you talk, I talk, no kill me oh, no kill me oh, may I run oh, may I run. They continue to use their kale, their catching style, as they used to catch people and go and lock. People just disappear. You just go, they take you to Cholere prison, where they will just hang you above water and all those things. Before you know it, people will disappear, and up to today, people have not come back. But it gets to a point when the lizards say, I must metamorphose. So have the Amazonian people say, enough is enough. The Never Again generation has said, never again, never again. And we are standing by the positive side of never again, not the side of never again that the United Nations and the international community took in Rwanda, in Kigali, and up to today, never again is happening in Amazonia, and they seem not to. They make as if they are not seeing. Then they will see and they are seeing. We thank God because they are seeing. Yes. So since the Never Again generation, people decided that we cannot just sit and fold our arms. We must defend. That is why we have our ARF, Amazonian Restoration Forces. Ambazonian Restoration Forces. This arrow can be double. Ambazonian Restoration Forces, Ambazonian Recognition Forces. Because what are we fighting? We have already restored our independence. Now is that recognition. All those 63 countries that voted for Southern Cameroon's independence, they will come. Thank God they are coming gradually. Some things are not, when you have your division of labor, the certification of work and society, you leave some things for some people to come and say them. Mhm. Yeah. But what I want to make us really know here is that a military, a man is usually it defends the state and its interest against external threat. So when this never generation has seen that La Republic has beaten more than they can chew, they have been in a place for too long, they are overstaying their stay. They say no, since you people only understand the language of aggression. Don't get me wrong. The military is there to guide its people, to keep the state, to protect it for its people. But when you see a foreign nation begin to come, that is the external threat. And the people of Amazonians have felt that threat coming from these occupiers for so long that they say enough is enough. That is why we have been saying for a very long time that if you are gifted, because not everybody can be a nurse, not everybody can be a doctor. Some people are meant to be engineers, some doctors, some military people. Some people are just cut to be, they're just meant. They born some people that according to your calling. Some people that they just born them for being a military people. You give them any other work, they know if you work out. But just tell them, say, just go to defend your country. You go see as well, they go to go there, they go to defend the country. Now, why that way you see, some people go shit down, you see, they'll kill for the defense forces. They'll kill our pikin them for LGA. Their brothers will turn around, bury them, but they still get mind for get up and still continually defending. Now because say na people dem that way they born them to be military. Not everybody was born. Not everybody is caught. Not everybody is meant to be a military. Now why that way you see that they easily buy some people them. They easily buy some people and they easily deceive some people them. Because if you really dey a military man for your country, e go hard if you are a born military person. If you were caught to be a military, e go hard for say make you sell your country. So all these people dem wey dem dey waka inside of we dey go bend waka, dey do wetin wey dem dey do, dey sell the other one, dey comot dey go say dey go make agreement here, dey go do friendship. Military is not friendship. An enemy is an enemy. Now we too like to compare our things dem with Ukraine, but I am yet to see any Ukrainian force, any group of Ukrainians wey dey decide for start dey kill fellow Ukrainians dem because dem dey fight war against Russia. The thing na say if una we dey overtalk that thing about Ukraine, some person go say why international community dey only look na thing wey Ukraine dey do, dey go for Ukraine side, why no come for our side? Una sef no go ask una sef say how many of una don put una food, how many of us Amazonians don put our food for ground say this is our country and we want it to exist that way? Because na high time wey we get to ask ourselves that question. How many of us? So fellow Amazonians, I dey wan just make us make we know say our military, our AROFs na our own Southern Cameroon's Amazonian defense, na our own force, that na our own military. We no wan yet call am say military because we are still in this transition phase. Yes, but if you look at outrightly, genuine fighters fighting through their LGAs, pointing their guns at the real enemy, you go know say they are already taking the assignment of a military defending its state. So if you be fighter wey you carry your stick, you carry your gun, no go sit down for there bikini wey make some person can tell you say can't join me, can't join me. Individual no dey get military. By the time some person say can't join me, know say you already go join. Now that's what they call am say militia group. And a militia group na person wey if he say una anytime if he say una, because they fit call you for some contract, they give you some money, say do this thing like this, he go call na una say okay, from today na so we go start behave. As from henceforth, this is how we will be behaving. We will not follow, go and execute this person, they will go. So what am I saying here is that our people should be of the educational level that not everybody that is appearing to be an Amazonian Restoration Forces is one as such. Especially those ones the way that they extort, those foreigners, they don't wear our picking their clothes them. They appear, they take our images, they pretend like say na we that dey commit atrocities. Why? Because they want make una get problem with make una start complain say Amazonian Restoration Forces dey disturb our community. I dey talk so because there are many of us on home front. The report has been coming up saying that our people are disturbing, they are doing this, they are doing that. But if you see any people, if una be current this time, you people, you have already heard of this video, this audios or this thing is two-faced because I no wan use them like reference to defend wetin we dey talk. But na just to clarify something wey I wan make am maybe clear for here. This our person, Capo Daniel, some people they don dey hear, they dey know say na he be the head person wey be the, according to the audio, he dey talk say na he be the head ADF dem. He dey bring out one or two or kind of two story dem. But if you look at one point, which reasonable person go dey, which day una don see some na republic military comot camp begin dey counter out say na wetin that way dem bin dey do, na things that way dem don do, na things that way dem don plan. So one thing for una building, for all we our understanding na for know say na people dem this way dem don go out decide for sell themselves. Dem don decide for separate their group. Make you go talk so that you go fit convince some people dem bring am for your side. By the time Capo Daniel go convince other fighters dem make dem come join his side, then they go finish exterminate our children. Because all we know say they have been working as proxies for the main occupier of our land. For a very long time, they don execute how many, na instead they use the mob dey talk am. But behind wetin wey dey talk, if you look in between the lines, he just working at people so that we go leave wetin wey we dey do, we go come begin dey pikin dem go comot go dey follow you say yes na Capo na be the correct person na wey we fit go join me. All those ones na some of their continuous working policy with their master wey e don employ them. The person wey don employ them na give them that work, so dem dey do am judiciously. So make no person no be carried away by wetin wey these people dem dey talk. Just listen and learn. Listen and learn and know say you dey for your LGA, you dey for your county, you dey represent your interim government and you dey fight for defend your homeland, because you dey defend your homeland, you no go fight under somebody in name. You are defending your government, yes. So so the thing wey we get to understand am for here na say that one na wetin that way military get to do. So if I dey talk because we get experience with so many of our fighters who are drafting with their lives. You know, person get na one life, as bullet pass through na all that. So these are people who are standing and defending their nation. So there is nobody that can take away your nation from you. But I suppose say it is better to fight and die for your nation. Some person go say yes, una dey una for one man country, una dey talk, we will go die for you. But if we not dey too for one man country for talk, for mobilize, for finance, for do all those things, how we go do fight together for get the country? You know, it's now for we for do the right things. Everybody for a place, dey for your place, begin to do the right things. Then you go see say you go live longer. Because if you count the whole of starting from General Ivo and all the ones there for Atlantic zone, all the ones there for Midland and Savannah zone, the one the way they don't die, you will see say those were people who started off very well, good records. But what happened the moment they spoke against their own land, the moment they spoke against their government, you spoke against yourself. And that is how the enemy used it against you and exterminated you. Because they get to a point where they use you against your own self. So now one of their policy then that way they use them for use you against your own self. So if the ones the way they remain, if we now get this sense, we should get to this point of intelligence to know that I should not use my own hand to destroy my own thing. Because all these petty, small, small, let me just continue because I'll get into it. And then there is one thing, the policies, that the hidden policies that these people have been using. There's what we've been talking about it. Scotch Ed policy. Scott Earth policy. Me sef, I was thinking about the thing. I made some 1, 2 or 3 consultation with some people. I said, what about this? What can we say about it? They say, it's a good idea. We should educate ourselves about it. Yes, they say this is a military strategy that is aimed to destroy anything that might be useful to the enemy. Earth Scotch policy, or the Scotch Earth policy, is a military strategy that is aimed to destroy anything that might be useful to the enemy. And una know from day one, this our main enemy, La République du Cameroon, they don do everything possible for destroy everything wey e be get any identity like Southern Cameroons. Ma call am for the different name the way they be dey call am. They call am West Cameroon, they call am province, they call am all kind name dem. But the name wey we be get am from, wey United Nations know we dey in those days of voting and everything, is Southern Cameroons. And these people walk down, Scotch Earth policy. They destroy everything that might be useful to the enemy. La République from day one consider Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, as their enemy. And by so doing, they did not sleep. They made sure that anything that could be useful to you, anything that could identify you, anything that could follow you as a Southern Cameroonian, they work hard up till today. If it is just because from the origin they knew that les ennemis dans la maison, the enemies in the house. So they saw the capacity, the power, the instrumentality, the functionality of Southern Cameroonians. They say, what we go do for these people, then we get to start destroying them. And that is that escort policy. You see how they destroy everything. Sometimes we just used to say they take our CDC, they take our power camp, they take our WADA, they take our PWD. We're just saying it, but this is an international word, Scotch Earth policy, that people have been using even in World War One, World War Two, to defend their enemies. It is still being promulgated. It is still being used even in our present case. Scotch Earth policy has started long. Because you go hear, they go tell you, say, they take our CDC, they took our power camp, they took our toilet and do tea, they took our PWD, they took our marketing board, they took away Tico and Victoria Seaport. Everybody knows, even the engineers that came to come and build the famous Kribi port, the infamous Kribi port that they are building. The people ask them, why spend so much money on the Kribi port when Victoria is there having a natural deep sea port where you could just develop and save money and let it be? But why? For those of you who are fighting to stay with La Republic and they are deceiving you that it is one and indivisible, why for this small gesture they didn't come to use a deep natural seaport to develop a country if it were a country for everybody? They decided to use Scotch Earth policy, abandoned the Victoria deep sea port and went to Kribi and spent billions and billions. And every day they are still spending it by digging it so that the sand should not swell up. That is a typical example of a Scotch Earth policy. They took away our CDC. They took away our technical school in Ombe. If you ask yourself today, where is the headquarters of CDC? It is in Yaoundé. They took away the marketing board. They went to change the name and put it whatsoever. For sorry, I will still bring it the subsequent editions. Yes. What did they not take? Even the GCE board, even your GCE board that people fought in the 80s to have a GCE board, they now carry it. It is in Yaoundé. Even your Boya University that people fought for it, now they have taken another branch. They say it is in Akunolinga. You people are not seeing it. This is scorched earth policy. They take everything valuable from the enemy because you have been that enemy in the house for a very long time. They destroy your military. They took away your valuables. If you go in most of the important offices, even in Sonara, go and count how many of you and southern Cameroons are even working in that prestigious industry. How many? You look all the military positions from the colonial governor to the senior divisional officers to the divisional officers, even right to the one in my village is even they made sure that no sons and daughters of the soil has a say. Is that not Scotch Earth policy? And you sit down, and this is how they exterminate you. Even when you go to write exams, some they do it in such a way that your transcripts do not even show anything. I remember when we were in the university, you must have written your test, the first test and the second test, before you want to see. You know that your average will be 15 or something, 16, only for you to go to the scoreboard, you are having a 10.5 or 11.5. You begin to bring your papers to argue to say what is going on. They will only tell you, il y avait un commission de résultats qui était venu de Yaoundé. So you go begin to ask yourself, say, how can a commission of results, you write exam in your own university, and then a commission for results will come, and if you look at that list, it's only the children of Southern Cameroon whose marks were dropped, so that by the time you have a transcript, you want to go and register for higher institutions, you will see that you do not have the cutoff points. Who will not bear witness with me that there was a time where one of the professors said they have looked through, they realized that the Amazonians, the Southern Cameroon, les anglophones ne sont pas intelligents. They never get the cutoff point that they can be admitted into IRIC, into ENAM, into all those schools that they have put for themselves. So these are some of the things that the fact that some of us have struggled and come out, we are in the Western world today, my brothers and sisters. It will not end there. There will be a time where some people will come in leadership in this wine man's world, and they will start telling you, go home. Or they will do everything to start blocking the blocking people who are not there. I listened to one a podcast where one person was criticizing that the former president of America, Trump, is coming back, wants to contest again in the 2024 presidential session, and his first propaganda is that all those Africans who used to come to America to come and give birth to children and then gain the American citizen, if he becomes the president, it will not work. So this is how some of those things begin to creep in gradually, and some of us think that we have already arrived, and therefore we should not fight for your own homeland. Let me not digress. The thing is that we should know, we should remember how these people have used us. They have scorched us in every way that a human being can be looked upon and considered to be a human being. If you look at it today, they are still deceiving. They are still deceiving our young men and women who have decided to defend their country. President Sarko said it very well in one of two of his outings of late. If na you wey You kill some person in papa, you kill that person in mommy, and then that person don't can grow now. He become a medical doctor. Then you sick, you get some sick way, they only get to go operate you for that hospital where that person they will be killing mommy and the papa. You think say you yourself you go get confidence for what she done, make that person operate you, when no say na you be key in mommy and the papa. President Sako used that metaphor to ask question, that parable. He asked, because this is what they are still scorching us, using our young men and women, people who are viable men and women, to stand up and defend their country. They are deceiving them and calling them in a place they call DDR. People who could stand up and defend their country, people who should have picked up what it is to have a country they call their own. Una don't fight like the one where they call yesterday Shinarambo say don't go. You just say they go, don't forget how you be deal with their people there for Bui or for Nkokitunja. You just say they don't forget. They just dey watch you. If they know they watch you, go ask Nambere who side dey. Go ask Socks and Congo who side dey. Because when you let yourself, they use you. I be only hear na some long French audio wey Socks and Congo dey talk how way Ngongo the one kill he. According to you, if they expose the thing where he and Gongo what they were doing in secret, no man no be know. He brought it out because he knew that time don't reach when Gongo the one kill you. Una think say they go use una, they no go kill una. Ambazonian picking them. No make yourself soya. Because they need to chop soya for daytime, they chop soya for night. And when it happen for night, plenty of people they may be there. No ever think say person wey don't kill the pikin today, he go laugh with you tomorrow. He go spare you. Who say you see that one? Who say you see him? He not there. He not there. Yes. So all this one na for let our people know say escort health policy na way to way the military of Amazon of La Republique and the government of La Republique that they don't use them over the years to manipulate our people. Yes. So and this strategy, what is the Scotch Health strategy? Is a last-ditch attempt to deter a hostile takeover by making the target company unattractive to the potential acquired. You know, wait if una wan say and say all these things wey don dey happen, so wetin La Republique don do for we? Wetin be the tactics? Wetin be the tactics wey Scotch Health policy dey do? They dey take style, they dey sell all the prized assets. They dey make una region unattractive. If una remember one time, they be talk say, na which company they dey where they don't buy our oil and our gas. And I go add am for you say na why that way una dey see some of the international community, they just dey look. La Republique think say if you quick sell oil, sell our gas, sell our things them, then so that men no person no come for can helebui. They forget for no say oil and gas na natural resources. Na natural resources. The well no will ever dry because geologists, mineralogists, all kinds people they don't do studies. They don't count Amazonian wells and deposits like one of that one where enough the fit dry. So as we continue the fight, our homeland the capital we go get authority and power and rights over our prized assets. Yes. So even though they use that tactic for saying no, they not get nothing, they fight for take them, they fight for take them, they busy, you know it can never run dry. Amazonia is a God ordained land. Amazonia no fit run dry. So fellow brothers and sisters, Amazonians, as we dey fight, make we know say all dis thing wey La Republic dey do and so forth, we na because say dem dey wan subject we. Now remember now for 2018 for Paris wey Paul Biya sef talk am, say for over 60 years dem don dey try for assimilate the people, but e no dey work. So it is a take home message for anybody wey wherever you are trying to work very hard thinking that Amazonia will not come. You are deceiving yourself. It will come. It is here. It has already come. Yes. Now even the more reason that way, somebody like this their Professor Jodene Esumba wey say una no fit defeat Amazonia for war. Then they go into say make they apply another tactics when I'm still going to talk it in subsequently. Yes. But for now, you go realize and say La Republic don do and e still dey do Scotch health policy. Now why that way you see since wey this our recognition restoration movement start, they kill our doctors, they kill our nurses, they kill our doctors, they burn down our hospitals. So that why for paralyze say may if any Amazonian pikin be wounded on the field, make dem no see place where they go dey for go get treatment. Una feel say that one na to render the population harm useless, so that when they come giving you crumbs, you'll be running towards them to go and collect. Say, these people then good, oh, let me go and collect what they are giving me. So now the same thing where you see that they try for group our people, or the one for say a house of chiefs, religious leaders, all those things. They no want talk about the interim government. They say they don't. Who tell them say they don't know? They know very well. Even the international community, they know, and things are going on. So now for una Amazonian people, the may no person no can the fool now, or that they bring all this now because they recognize and say, amen. That the judge they do and they touch them so that may international justice not fall on their head. And by so doing, they turn around now so that may they start to manipulate you yourself, Amazonian people, they may they use una. Now why that way you see, even the way they did for the government, they decide for pay Amazonian pikin against other Amazonian pikin, so that may they get the voice for talk say they don't know who to talk to. Now lie, they know who to talk to. Now why that way all the attempts wey they decide for run from Swiss talk, they want run go pick a handful of people where they don't succeed for Biden, they go reach for Canada, they not fit get a way forward. Now why? Because why interim government, when government not there for something, enough fit work. Now why that way you hear their own minister of whosoever talk say the government of Cameroon was not there, and in effect the government of Amazonia was not there. So now why that way nothing, no hold, nothing could take place because the government of La Republic du Cameroon was not there, the interim government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia was not there. In a nutshell, nothing could take place. So now why that way we dey talk say this war, this existential war wey dey so is between two parties, La Republique du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Amazonia. So if person dey confuse himself, make no man no confuse you. Dem na two government wey dey go from that beginning wey dem don give dem order say make una go sidon discuss the terms how una go wan do that by joining. God bless and say they never sat down, because if we be ever go sidon sef something before happen today, wetin we for the talk. So this is a blessed situation where God leave it. He left it there hanging because he knew that a day and a time like this will come where where we will be debating it, as President Sarkozy always talk, as equal partners on the table. We would negotiate. So even those the way they don't go give themselves, they don't sell the auto, that they talk away to, it will only be discussion between the interim government, the government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, and the government of Cameroon. So whatever tactics wey dem use am, e shall not work. Okay, so another thing wey um okay. Yeah, I could have also loved to say even this escort policy was already banned in the Geneva Convention that took place in 1977. Yes, but that is why you see when they saw that Ambazonia recognition movement came out and we were now forcefully and powerfully highlighting what has been stolen from us, how they have assimilated us, and how they are killing us. Maybe some people have already forgotten the time that they took away internet for 3 good months. 3 good months from Amazonia, Southern Cameroon. That's the highest that has ever existed in the whole world. Warning came to them that what you are doing like this, it may go too extreme, and before you know it, people will start coming in for these people because it is their right. You see, that was why they have tactically they restore that internet access. You know, those are some of the things that when they do Scotch Ed policy, they think that nobody will know. Thank God for this time, for this generation, with the internet and every social media space from the day the brutality, because in those days you only not know when somebody disappeared. Communication was not flowing. Nobody knew what was happening in Bamenda and how to know in Boya. But today, the moment something happens, it is on social media. So they have been caught pants down, pants down. So let our people know, Amazonians, our strong community should know that weeping may endure for the night, but joy will come in the morning. The joy for Amazonia is here because even the people themselves, you people listen to their equinox discussion and everything. Many people are already telling them that una do these people them bad oh, una do these people them bad. Una go attack these people dem for some place wey una no be get to do am oh. Una before don already enter discussion oh. Because truth be told, had it been they did not even penetrate our educational system, penetrate the justice system, and did not manipulate some things, me and you know say we not be for dey for the place. Because that time we only dey talk say, well, no, you people should fix it. Don't take everything away from us. But they say, who are you? Rat, cockroaches, small war gecko, or bonamukenge, na so they call we. Nine people stand there, kill pikin dem for broad daylight with live ammunition. Burn people the houses for broad daylight. Then una wan say make people dem do wetin? They say no. Ambazonian they say we are the never again generation. We don stand up gidigba. We have stood up, and there's nobody that can press us down. And it is the same thing for everybody who has taken up the mantle to say, I have the 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 the, the power. I want to stand. I want to fight. I want to defend Amazonia. Not only the military, even those in the executive, even those in the judiciary, those in the legislative, those in every commission that you are. Just make sure in your darkest part that you are doing the right thing for Amazonia. Because there's something they call karma that does not know a brother and does not know brother, does not know sister. It may linger for a while, but when it lands, it is not respecter of person. So, in as much as we are talking how it is out there, we should be talking to ourselves and searching ourselves. Because many audios are out there, everybody is talking, trying to do emotional blackmail, trying to do all this and that. Yes, but then make sure that you are on the right side of history. Make sure that your records are clean. Yes, because all this one way they go stand, full pikin dem. I hear some audio wey padi atanga dey who dey call some boy, some one guy, you not see me, and this and that. He knows that he's deceiving the guy that they are deceiving him because he wants to achieve his own self-interest. He pushes these children to their graves. And I will take responsibility for this statement. Sometime it will come. You don't know what they are feeding you with. When you say you are sick, you don't know the medication they give you. You don't know the food they are giving you. You don't know the access of water they are giving you. I read somewhere that there was a tactic some people used to kill. They grind bottle. They grind bottle gradually to dust, and they were feeding it in the food of the people they wanted to handle. They were eating. Slowly they were eating. Years later, when the results started showing, they were no longer there. Of course, medical field will give a diagnosis. They will find the intestine blah 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 logi. They will find a name and put logi behind it, and that will be it. But you will not know that it is that day that you sold your birthright because somebody told you that, oh, that they fool you. They want that they fool you. Okay, that one that they fool you. Wait to make sure say na him they fool you. As President Sako talk, how you go for some hospital, make dem go operate you for place, make the person wey operate you, you know say na you be kill im mommy and im papa. So something then there are certain things that when we are doing, we just have to be conscious. We just really have to be conscious of what we are doing. Yes, inside within us. And when you're holding back some kind of meeting, doing funny phone calls to try to discredit and all those things, you should be careful. It is for every one of us because it will surely come back to us. We have children, we have grandchildren, and we have them. Yes, there's another thing that I would also like us to talk. It is the same in the same line because we use them interchangeably. Ethnic cleansing. According to the definition from Oxford Language, it says the mass expulsion or killing of members of one ethnic or religious group in an area by those of another. It is almost the same thing. Ethnic cleansing, they choose you. Mass expulsion. Where, my brothers and sisters, there have never been a time in history where Amazonians have left their home. There have never been a time in history Amazonians have left their home, moved to neighboring countries. This is mass expulsion. It started off by killing, targeted killing, mass killing, destructive killings, and all those things. Amazonians had to flee from their life. That was ethnic cleansing. And if you look critically, in the course of all of this war, going about 7 years counting, there is no day that a French Cameroon person living in Amazonia, by chance or by error, has been killed or their property mitigated. Not even by error. It never happened. It did not happen. So when I go see and say, this thing that happened, they are just cleansing, they just want to cleanse Amazonia. They just want to cleanse Amazonia. They call you people that you are the other people. They will call you Lebaminda. At one point, they will call you Le Biafra. Another place, they will call you Le Ra. I don't know whether it's German now. I want to tell Le Kakalake. They will call you the cockroaches. So if you look at all of these things, they have decided to wipe out, to cause Amazonians to flee. There are now refugees everywhere along the West African coast. Going down gradually to the East and South African coast, Amazonians are scattered. and they come and sit. They say, oh, some scrupulous ones. They come and sit and they say, oh, we can go for a referendum. Are you going to bring all of those that have gone far and near to come? Who are those that are on ground that are going to organize the thing that you are talking about? Is it not the same group that will continue to manipulate you? Before you know, they will go and they will load 70-seater buses to enter your country and to come and perform such rites. Because why? They are already issuing backdoor birth certificates and ID cards to non-Amazonians in most of our police stations, most of the colonial governors and SDO's offices. Because why? You are not there. They are the only people working inside those offices. And even if you are there, you dare not talk because you'll be held in bondage. So these are some of the ways that they have used, they have burned down our villages. How many villages have been burned down in Amazonia? How many villages have been burned down in in Amazonia? How many? People are sitting, we are watching. Some of us, some people are just hanging on because, anyway, Aluta continue. Justice is something that it may delay, but it will come. And for the case of Amazonia, it is here. It is here. Because no matter what policy they use, no matter what policy they may use to exterminate the Amazonians, Amazonians all over the world are still standing strong and tall. You know, in those days, people used to say they used to uh, do ethnic cleansing, or because people were not, because of religious reasons. According to one activist that said, Andrew Bell, he said that in the ancient times, religion was the norm. But if you look at it critically, even up to today, the motivational factor for ethnic cleansing is economic gain and political power. Because by the time you kill the people, you take authority over them, you you will not be able to talk. They will, it's power, it is interest. They will control you, they will manipulate you, you will speak their language, you will go to their schools, you will dress like them, you will talk like them, you have to eat like them. By the time they must have conquered you. And if you look at it critically, this is what they are pushing down the throats of Southern Cameroonians and Amazonia. This is what they are pushing down our throat. But then, Amazonians, the good news is that Amazonia, Southern Cameroon has come to stay. Some people will be asking me, why are you saying it and you're even smiling confidently? Do you know how we are suffering down here? Yes, my brothers and sisters, weeping may endure for the night, but joy will come in the morning. Joy will come in the morning. Yes, some people will begin to say again that what is ethnic cleansing? So other people say these things they are a synonym. They have a synonym which is the major international word that people are using today, where we say there is genocide ongoing in Amazonia. That there is genocide. Genocide is ongoing in Amazonia. Our genocide is ongoing in Amazonia. What is then genocide? Genocide is the same thing that they target people of a particular group, of a particular class, of a particular origin. They exterminate them. They kill your institutions. They kill your powerful force. like when they decided to kill the young men, a group of young men in Benin, in Bali. All of these massacres that we have them, we have repeated them over and over. This is a clear evidence of a genocide. As I said a few minutes back, there is no day in the course of these little corpses that we see here and there that there is a mistaken one that is somebody from French Cameroon. That is a typical example of a genocide that is taking place. They are targeting the people of Amazonia for who they are, for what they uphold, for their ideology, and for their homeland, that they know that they have their international boundaries and that they were granted independence on the 21st of April 1961. And some people will want to tell you that forget history. Never you forget your history. I said one time here, if you want to tell anybody to really forget history, go and tell the Jews to forget about the Holocaust. Then they will ask you where you are coming from. They will ask you, who are you? So if anybody stands in front of Amazonians and tell them that forget history, don't be talking about history, the diplomats are not interested in the history because they themselves know the history. No, it is only the history that they are afraid to correct. This is why I still said last time that if people could decide to forget their history, even the most popular race, the black race is the most popular race that you cannot sell it out. Even the ones that went to America how many years ago, they are doing DNA to trace their roots, their origin, to know where they come from Africa. And if you look at the west coast of Africa, you see how many of them have come and they have established their government, they have established their country. And I also read somewhere that those that came from America to come and trace their roots that they were La République du Cameroon, many of them ran away. And I will check and find. So, fellow Amazonians, it's not because we just want to talk, but all this is for us to to know our community, to know what is going on around us, that we should understand that we should not relent, that you should know that this is the trick, these are the tactics these people have been using to manipulate us, to fight one another. Is one of their tricks. We know divide and rule. As we know from origin, the people of Southern Cameroons were made the people of Southern Cameroons. There was no line that was drawn in between to say you are this one, you are that one by geographical coordinates. No, it wasn't. If you see somebody, even from within their own country, they start telling you, je suis de, I am this tribe. No, that is because they are drawing lines already for a genocidal preparation. Because those are some of the symptoms, those are some of the things, those are some of the stages of genocide. I will just bear with me the few minutes that I have, that will just go ahead and see some of the 10 stages of genocide. Because I hear somebody like some activists, some supposed human rights lawyers, and some ever, they tell you that we cannot talk of genocide when our people are fleeing, are running and going to the place where we suppose that they are the one committing genocide. That is a layman statement. That is a statement of a sellout, of an educated illiterate. Yes, if you make that kind of a statement, because a man in a drowning stage may not even bother if he has to hang on to a snake. He will hang on to a snake swimming in that river and hoping that by the time um, it finds a safe landing, it will escape. But the snake too is just taking you along, hoping that by the that you should never find a safe landing, so that it will continue to drag you until when you are tired inside the water, it will now swallow you. So for anybody to tell you that, oh, Amazonians are the wrong goal for Northern Road, uh, they are wrong goal for North for the wrong goal and Republic, na because nothing no dey. Person wey dey wan keep you for prison, like how they don take our sons and daughters, they are being locked up in Kondengi 1 and 2, they are locked in Yoko, locked up in in Fu, in Bafusam, everywhere. You know, that is to reduce, that is another form of genocide. You reduce the existential population, you suppress them, then they go into schools, they rape girls, they claim to impregnate them. Even if they are spreading out STDs there, they think that they will suppress. They can never suppress forever, because weeping may endure for the night, joy will come in the morning. The people of Amazonia will be free. Let me just quickly go through the 10 stages of genocide. You know, they say genocide is a human phenomenon that can be analyzed and understood, and consequently may be prevented. Genocide may be prevented. According to academic and activist Gregory Stanton, genocide is a process that develops in 10 stages described here. The stages do not necessarily follow a linear progression and may coexist. Prevention measures may be implemented at every stage. For example, the talk of classification. You know, we just take it. It is not in a linear progression. So anyhow you understand anyone, just know that that is a stage of genocide. It's a group classification. Groups in a position of power will categorize people according to ethnicity, race, religion, or nationality, employing an us versus them. If una look am very well, dis classification, dem don already classify una, ce sont les Baminda, ce sont les Biafra, ce sont les Zambazozo, you know, they classify we, that is that stage. It can be a kind of moral or physical extermination of genocide, because when they classify you, now know ce sont les Zambazozo, you are deprived from some certain things. If they see you, either they put gun for your head. Like the three boys, I think in 2019 or 2018, 2020, that were arrested in Sandpit in Boya, and they were taken to Mamu Junction, close to Ekona Lelu, inside there. They killed two of our children, and one they left him because he later on spoke French and say, "I am one of you." You see, they had to leave him because this is classification. You see how they classify who to kill. So it is us versus them. You saw how they put groups in position of power. You know, according to your school, they try to even destroy our schooling system. You know, the teachers were complaining that somebody like Patterson, who used to be the leader of the teachers union and a bilingual student at that, realized the quality of teachers that were being sent to come and teach our Amazonian children. One of my classmates sent a short script and said an English teacher went to one school, and the principal asked him, "Are you the new English teacher?" He said, "Yes, I are. I are. Are you the new English teacher?" Because why? He wasn't somebody that had the English educational background. "Yes, I are." And he was coming to come and teach that English language to whom? With this kind of first impression appearance. Who will want to tolerate such a mess around their school or something like that? So this is a kind of classification. And they say you can only prevent such by creating universalistic institutions that foster social cohesion. But did these people ever do any social? They don't. There's no social cohesion. It can never be, because you are a target, you are marked for genocide. You are marked for genocide. Your society has to disappear, your group has to disappear, your family has to disappear, so that La Republic will usurp and swallow up everything that has any representation, any presence as Amazonia. Number two, they say symbolization. People are identified as, let me just read it, as Jews, Roma, or Tutsi. It is the same thing, and made to stand out from others with certain colors or symbolic articles of clothing. That is the same thing you will see. They have now decided genocide started, continued from the day they drew the line across southern Cameroon, because everybody knew us as Southern Cameroon. Nobody knew us as Northwest and Southwest. If you go to the United Nations Charter, you go to every place, there's nothing as Northwest and Southwest. But because of this symbolism that they try to draw, and they are using it today to to, uh, to manipulate people, this is a kind of moral genocide, where some people are proud to say, we for Southwest, we not dey we for that thing. Una for Southwest, Southwest na who side? Wey some people go say we be na dis people dem, na dem get that fight. Dat una thing na because say dem don genocide you sotey you forget even your own origin. And because of these symbols, you start dey find where you belong. There's also the one that we say discrimination. A dominant group uses law, customs, and political powers to deny the rights of other groups. The powerless group may not be granted full civil rights or even citizenship. Una go ask me, for people the way dem dey comot Bamenda, dem wan cross. When you enter motor, una must comot for Matazin. Dey control una identity card dem. Dat motor cross go the other side, then una go waka with your foot go. Which day be don be wey you don comot for Yaounde or for Douala, you dey come back, you reach for Matazin, dey tell una say make una calm down, make dem check the ID before una enter. Na dat thing wey dem dey call am say, and na the genocide that way dem don dey use am for people very long time ago. People no know say na genocide wey dem dey use am. Dem dey already mark out, dey tell you who you be, rendering you powerless. They bring some certain laws, just as we see how in our law court in the recent times wey lawyers dey go out, dey go protest because the civil law wey Southern Cameroons uphold, dem wan kind dey bring their own law. Dem wan destroy you, make you die, make you no exist, until the ex ten t wey even mami wey dey for village go for court, dem dey tell mami dem say go bring translator, make e come translate for you for dis their case. Na the genocide stages dem that way dem don dey take place, small 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 small, wey dem dey kill morally and physically. Number four say dehumanization. The diminish of the discriminated group is communicated through propaganda. Parallels are drawn with animals, insects, and diseases. Yes, e dey here. When dem call una say una be rats, una be cockroaches, dehumanizing a whole people created by God and by the international law, with international boundaries, with a government in place, with a national anthem, with a flag, with a seal, with a penal code, all these things in place, with a constitution, a legislative house, an executive house. But because they decide for dehumanize, because they think annexation and assimilation is what is working for them, they should continue using it. But it exposes them. because it is in the charter of classifying genocide. So even the international communities and all the groups of civil rights societies that are taking down steps, they have the evidence that once you start describing people as animals, insects, or to diseases, that is it. They say there are cockroaches, there are rats in the house, there are enemies in the house, there are 2 cubes of sugar. You start using people for metaphor. So this is so for Amazonians who are thinking that, oh, una dey only dey talk, you people are only talking, and wait till they go on. You know, these things are documented, and by the time they will land it on the table for the day of discussion, nobody will be able to say, they will put it in front of you. This is what you said. They will play your tape for you. Now the other one is number 5. It says organization. It's a state, its army or militia design genocidal killing plan. And who can decide? Who can refute this? Who can deny this? The way its army or militia design genocidal killing. I said it before. Which day they don't make mistake shoot person for French Cameroon? No one day. No one. But they go kill baby Martha. They kill baby Carol Ness. They burn Mami Happy inside house. They burn the other papa for Bamenda. They kill Pikin for Pini. They call the one for Bali. They kill for Batibu. They create militia group. All the militia groups that we know say it's the one they say the voices in the bushes. All those that small camp the way they create them. If you say people need take statistics, they take statistics. You remember even in the days of South Africa, Buthelezi be get his own. Why? Because he was under a payroll to destabilize what Nelson Mandela and the rest were doing for the South African land. Yes, some people go still talk say even the South Africa sef they don free. They're free. Better get their key for your house, buy a plot. You must not build a duplex. You must not build a swimming pool house. But the moment you can have a one room where you can go in and do your things, go in and come out and decide who comes and who does not come, that is a long way that you must have gone. Yes, it is a thing to reckon with. So, my brothers and sisters, so you see how they organize the army, they undress themselves, they pretend to be what they are not, only because they want to carry out genocidal killings amongst the people of Amazonia. All these things, if you listen to it critically, you will see that Amazonia had been under genocidal plan from the beginning for how many years till now. Amazonia had been steady on the genocidal list from like Republic of Cameroon. There's also number 6, they say polarization. Propaganda is employed to amplify the differences between groups. Interactions between groups are prohibited, and the moderate members of the group in power are killed. Polarization, yes, it's the same thing where they call you, they say they try to draw lines between you. They say you come from north, you be this one, you be northern zone, you be northwest, you be southwest. They start creating divisions. They start telling you how you people are of the same cultural background with these people. You people wear the same clothes, you sing the same way, you dance the same way. Political boundaries are not drawn like that. International boundaries are not drawn like that. If that were the case, there wouldn't have been any boundary anywhere. Because I sit in Austria, I speak German. You just go down here in Switzerland, you also see the other part close to us here speaking German. You cross to the other border just above us, you see Germany there. They are speaking German. Why did they draw the lines? Why did they not just say, all of una speak na that German language? Let it just be one straight nation from Germany to Austria to Switzerland, and the part that is speaking Switzerland in Italy or what, you people should just be like that. There's no boundary. No, that is a genocidal stage when they start trying to polarize people, northwest, southwest. They start telling you that you do not belong together, and some of our people are even falling for it. They are falling for it to say, oh yes, hey, me, I feel Adele Douala man. If you be Adele Douala man, they not be for post international pillar for Mongo Bridge. They not be for put am for there. They be for just leave am. And then French Cameroon too, not be for carry a military dem for 30th of September 1961, just can't enter Amazonian land. They not be for calm because if for just be say everyone, but because you were already marked out for all these things, that is where you see where we are today. So you see how they don't come polarize you. Even the way they want stand up group, they try to kill, they kill till today. You see how Abel went to suffer in prison. Most of our political prisoners went to suffer in prison. Why? Because of polarization. You were just passing, they just pick you up because of polarization. And that is a genocide stage of it. And there's a preparation. The victims are identified, separated, and forced to wear symbols. Deportation, isolation, and forceful starvation. Death lists are drawn up. Yes, come to think of it, our former leaders of the interim government, Siseko Julius Ayoktabe and his whole cabinet, they are sitting in Kondenge prison in Yaoundé because this is the preparation to weaken people, to demoralize people, to set people to not to follow something. Brothers and sisters, I'm reading this list because nobody should sit down and say Amazonian's case is not being taken seriously. It is being taken seriously because all the things that have been drawn down for everybody, it reflects the same thing. Next week, there is a letter that I'm really going to sit down and read this letter out for us to understand, especially when some people are saying that Amazonian's case is not being taken seriously as the other cases of Ukraine and Sudan is being taken seriously. There are some implications, there are some things that are being set in place. It doesn't mean that Amazonia is less, or the people that are in leadership in Amazonia are not doing what's supposed to be done. Everything is being put in place. You know, when they say, we just give you small time, more may this person wey dey cause this trouble may realize himself withdraw before sanctions the wan start dey come. But they say stubborn fly na dey follow corpse for inside grave. It's only a stubborn fly that will follow the corpse inside the grave, because what happened to Chastelov, what happened to Milosevic and all those people, karma and international law and courts are irrespective of person. They strike when the time comes. So this one is for the Amazonian community to understand that your case is not different from any other one. It is not different from any other one. Your case is being mentioned. Your case is being discussed. Your case is being going high. That is why even when La Republique has been struggling to call us secessionists, I read it last time here, President Sako tells us that we are separatists. Even when they want to call us terrorists, the international community, no one has ever called us terrorists because they know that within a country, Amazonia is a country and they cannot be terrorists to themselves. That's why they are fighting Boko Haram up there, they are fighting all those things up there. But the one that is Amazonia, the one that is in Amazonia is a nation, and the people in Amazonia have to stand up and face their own challenges and fight for their own nation the way Ukraine and many other countries have stood up and fought and gotten their total restoration. Because it is not free. Either you are being a mediocre and giving up, you are resigning yourself to slavery, resigning yourself to annexation, resigning yourself to assimilation, then you can stay you quiet. Therefore, then you can be grumbling that they are not doing anything. But it is a patriotic right for every Amazonian to be doing the right thing and stop forming small groups. Because by so doing, you are giving a hand for these people to continue their genocide against yourself And who is that person that will take a gun and put against their own head, except he or she that wants to commit suicide? But Amazonians are not committing suicide. They are ready to fight and set their country free from invaders. Yes. So the list of the other one is preparation, which prepares deportation. That is how they bundle our leaders in Nigeria and they brought them back. That is a form of, it's a step of genocide because they want to reduce you, they want to weaken you. They kept them in, how do they call that place again? Instead, for almost 6 years and 6 months in solitary confinement. No family, no lawyer, nobody, until Amazonians all over the world took to the streets of Europe and America, marching up and down. And you people want to tell me that international community does not know our case or is not doing something. It was that marching that made them. It was that marching that made them to release our people from said and send them to 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 Kondengi where they are now. So there is preparation, there is persecution, there is extermination. Then, brothers and sisters, fellow Amazonians, I will continue this next week because we are on the appointment on community building. We will continue to build our our community. It is only you and I, Amazonian, that will get information from wherever we can get. If you have another topic that you would like me or us on ABC to share with fellow Amazonian, it is your right to text it to this number, WhatsApp it to this number that you have on your screen, and let us know that this is what you would like Amazonian to hear from your own perspective. So it is not just because I'm talking here that is the all knowing. No, it is a group of work with fellow Amazonians that we put it together and then we are able to do the building, the community building together because one hand made the tie bundle, one broom, one stick, one tree made the make forest. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, I think I have come to the end of it today for this Tuesday. I hope that, and I want to believe that we took something home. We continue to implore you to give a phone call, share your ideas, participate. And as I said, from next week, those that will be participating and answering some questions, there will be an amount sent to their Momo so that they can continually watching the ABC TV and particularly this show so that to keep it running. So I am not the one. Some sisters came up to say this is what they are willing to do. So we will bring out the questions and at the end of it, we will listen to those who have the answers and then we will do the arrangement to Momo their their gains to them. So it is a joint effort from all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, I want to thank everybody that took our time to stay on and listen and participate. It's just all that which we can do. Continue to share and like them on Facebook so that Facebook will continue knowing us more and giving us more space and time and on the media space. So yes, for me today, I have come to the end of today. I greet everybody. Have a blessed rest of the week and see you next Tuesday. Hmm. Yes, our technical crew, could you give us the music you promised us? Technical crew, could you give us the music you promised us to round up for today? I hope we are together. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, while I'm still on air, I suppose I was on number 7. Yes, I can't just be hanging on the screen when I know that, yeah, another 8 point on this genocide, stages of genocide is persecutions. Victims are identified and isolated based on their ethnic or religious identity. Death lists are drawn up in state-sponsored genocides. Members of victim groups may be forced to wear identifying symbols. Their property is often expropriated. Yes, Amazonians, yes, genocide. Have they not expropriated your properties? You've burned your villages, you've burned our schools, burned down our schools, burned our hospitals, and what have you? Reduce people. Healthcare has now become very difficult for a whole community area of more than 5,000 people. There is no hospital for how many kilometers? Now, what do you expect the people to do? If any disease or any pandemic should break out, that means that is what you wish the people to be exterminated and just sit down and die. Yes, that is what it is, the persecution. How they persecute people, they just load people, rally people, put them in prison, and bundle them up. Then you have the word extermination itself. Massacre begins. The perpetrators see their actors as extermination, since they do not consider the victims to be entirely human. Yes, when they reach this stage, they start killing indiscriminately. And what have they not done? This is why from the beginning of this presentation, we now say this list is not linear progressive. You could take point 10 and put it to point 1 according to the understanding, as well as the 10 point is denial. The perpetrators of the genocide denied having committed their crimes. Victims are often blamed, evidence is hidden, and witnesses are intimidated. Does this sound like the case of Amazonia? Yes, it is just the case. And then the prevention for this is that an international tribunal or national court must prosecute the criminals and give public education. And this is what is awaiting them. So the time they are trying to deny that they did not do anything, but the evidence are there. By the time they have reduced, they start blaming the victim that it is because start telling the boys you should leave the bush, leave the bushes and come out, lay down your guns, come and go to DDRO. They start pretending as if they want to give you some rehabilitation. It's because they are blaming you. It's a blame game, emotional blame and psychological blame game to let you know that you took a wrong path or you should come and let us give you a kind of healing. And by so doing, they are trying to hide their evidence. The evidence is hidden and witnesses are intimidated. So in some cases, even the people may not even talk. And by the time they start talking is when they are running for their life, like the case I mentioned before of Nambere and Congo success. They have reached a point where they try to hide their evidence because Congo success himself said it, that they know that he knows so much that that's why they want to exterminate him. So it reaches a point where the genocidal regime is now trying to deny, is trying to play peace game, is trying to say they are doing reconstruction, is trying to say they want to, people should not run away, people should not fear them, and they have now, in hiding their proof, they have now hired and brought in people who can speak even small pidgin and employ them to dress up like our restoration forces to start causing havoc in the communities. So if you see all of these things, it has reached a phase of denial. We want to deny the atrocities that have been causing the people of Amazonia since 1961. But they lie because everything is in paper, everything is documented, everything is there. And you can never cover pregnancy with a calabash. It will come out. So we will continue to do what we are doing. We will continue to stand for Amazonia, speaking the truth and shaming the devil. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I give you another technical crew. Can I just have Can I be officially close off the screen so I have a music and I also leave because I don't know what is going on now. Was I even on air? Was I talking to myself? Thank you. Okay, one of our brothers is asking that I send this analysis, this explanation of the genocide to the forum. I will, dear brother. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you very much for the contribution. And the, yes, yes, there's another report that is coming up. I don't know what is going on. The people on home front, some are reporting that they are seeing my image, they see me talk, but they don't hear me. So I don't know what is going on. That is another report. No audio. I've gotten like five reports on of this. So technical crew, take note. Somebody called me within the week also to give a similar report that they are not having our audios. And this is a very big disappointment that our people cannot really get what we put our time to set for our people. So I don't know. I'm sorry about that, our dear beloved audience. Yes, I'm sorry about that. If that be the case, I wouldn't mind to repeat this program again so that our people get it because it's of no use for me to sit here for 1.5 hours to 2 hours and talk and sensitizing and it doesn't get to the to where it is required. Yes. Thank you very much, fellow brother, for this information. Mm, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's people's location. Some people are saying that in our area we get you and all that. We just thank God for everything. Please, brothers and sisters on home front, we acknowledge the fact it is not easy for you guys. It's really not easy. But there is one thing that is encouraging that weeping may endure for the night, joy will come in the morning. Yes, it is not our wish that anybody should go in this kind of gruesome kind of a way. If anyone could just be human enough and sit on the table and discuss and share what is supposed to be, let Amazonians go their way because they failed the Southern Cameroonians for so long, we will not be where we are. But it comes a time that you have to wrestle to get what you have to get. And unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves. But we thank God that God has not left us, even though it is still giving our people the moral support and those of us out here to still do what we are doing. Yes, it is very sad and painful, but it is the journey we have to take. Mhm. We have come this far. God has not given up on us, so we should not give up on ourselves. We've come too far to go back. Imagine how it will be. I used to say that some of those that are in the Republic that have built their nice, beautiful houses and living there, God forbid it to, but God forbid it because you will watch a day where you'll be marched out of your own house and you see other people entering your house to own your property because by then you must have sold your birthright. And for those who are also claiming just relaxing, God forbid it will not be our portion. But just imagine worst case scenario, worst case. Let me not say it because that is not it. But sometimes it is good to say, what if, then if you put your what ifs together, we are going to do the right thing. Yes. They used to call that thing in mathematics. What was that again? Proper. I don't know. I've forgotten. Yeah, that's where we find ourselves. Technical crew, am I talking to myself? Officially, I'm supposed to leave the screen. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again and again. I can keep talking, but it is not what it is should be. I hope this program is being recorded, that people will have it on home front. There will be a rebroadcast. And for those who could not have the volume, I am sure by then, I don't know, maybe you check your TV set, your handset, whatever device you might be using. Yeah, you have to check. If not, as I said before, I wouldn't mind to sit again here and do it, because I did the research and we compiled the information together, and yeah, we thank God for everything. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to, all times, the technical crew are busy, double handed, setting the station for another programs to come up. So, yes, just bear with us, and we all know that at the end of the day, we are getting there and we are always there. Yes. So, it's not the right thing for me to just black out the screen. It has to go technically. Yeah. Thank you once again for taking out time, and continue to like on Facebook, and share, and let's have the number of views. And we have our space on Facebook, we have our space on YouTube. The more we watch, the more we comment and sell our case out there, it will go far and wide. Yes, and even there are some contributions that we still have to remind ourselves. There's the AID that you enroll, you go into the website, you see the different portals for ABC, for HSS, Health and Social Services. As I said, this month is a month for is the Refugee Month. On the 20th is the World Refugee Day. Remember your brothers and sisters in refugee camps scattered all over the world, especially in Nigeria and in Ghana and in other West African nations. Yes, so mm, it's on the 20th. So we will have to pray, lots of prayers for our aging refugees, refugee camps, and refugee settlements. Mm, and they need us. Uh, Blessed is he that giveth. Fellow Amazonians, it is our responsibility to continue to do what we are doing. Make sure you are part of your LGA, your local government area. You are part of your LGA. Do not be carried away. Do not be manipulated. Do not be talked over, because of whatever is ongoing. The war negotiation is only between two nations, the Republic of Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. At the end of the day, that is how it is. Mm, yes. And it's just as good as for each and every one of us to be on the right side of history. Join your LGA, join your county, join your federal government, your state government, and make yourself useful there. Support your ARFs to defend your homeland, because a day will come where everybody will be entitled to their homeland. Yes, just be on the right side of history. It will pay. For our grown-up children, those of you above 18 plus who have been in the Western world and you are working, know that you have a homeland. It is just as right for you. Even if you were born in the Western world, you have where you come from. Because each time they will ask you, where do you come from? Where do you come from? You cannot be going on and be saying, yeah, that I come from America. No, they will look at you, they say, no. You cannot say I come from Germany. You cannot say I come from UK. No, you have a home. That's why they will always ask you, where do you come from? So you should have an identity to yourself and be ready to defend that identity by your actions. Ask your mommy, ask your papa. You are of age. If they don't want to be part of the never again generation, you are a never again generation kid. And look for this information. You will find them and start doing the needful.